Alrighty, so we are back. Stage 3 of the Supreme Showdown Super Battle Spectacle, whatever you want to call it. Supreme Battle Spectacle Dragon Ball Super. What we are doing in this video is using all of the extreme types to complete the mission for it. And the team we are using is a little bit unorthodox, but nonetheless, it will get the job done. We are bringing AGL Omega Shenron. So, if you guys don't know, Omega Shenron is going to innately lower the enemy's attack before he even supers when he is on rotation. So that is going to give us a decent head start, and really the idea is we just need to make sure he doesn't do enough damage to the point where this Broly, the friend Broly, can kind of just carry, right? That is the way you're going to want to get through this. So if you have somebody like Tech Zamasu, the LR, which I do not have, it's going to make your life extremely easy because you have that damage reduction that he has turn 1. But you can see, running some older units in this video. We have Physical Broly, his EZA. We have STR Cooler. We have AGL Golden Frieza. We're just running some old units, but you gotta take advantage of what you have. And when it comes to all typings for Extreme, obviously Extreme is not the most, doesn't get the most love, if you will. But you guys can see the whole strategy that we are going for is the attack lowering strategy. So before we break down the strategy, let's break down the team and what we are doing so you guys can understand. The whole, what we did was you have to make sure that you bring one of every typing, right? So for AGL, I brought 2 with Golden Frieza and Omega. With STR, I brought Cooler. With Tech, I brought the other damage reduction, Golden Frieza. With Physical, I brought Broly. And then within, I brought LR Cell. So LR Cell potentially has a bailout with his heal, but I don't believe we get it in this video. AGL Golden Frieza, especially when he's above the HP threshold, is going to be doing 2 attack lowerings guaranteed per when he's around. Cooler's going to be doing attack lowering on his 12 key, so hopefully we can get as many of those in as possible. Omega's going to be lowering attack on both of his super attack effects as well as in his passive. So the whole idea is just trying to lower Goku's attack down as much as possible so the supers hit for as little as possible, and he just offensively he just doesn't have any like ability to really get going, right? But again, with that being said, it's basically just survive until we can get Broly into God mode, and that's essentially the whole goal of the video. Because once Broly gets going and he has his domain active and stuff like that, it's just curtains for Goku. So that was kind of the idea. Just stall out with attack lowering and make sure that we stay above the HP threshold so that way Frieza does not lose his damage, his additional damage reduction that he gets in his passive on top of whatever Whis items we have active. So the kind of weak units that we have on this team defensively are made up for with items, but when it comes to the no item run, this could be a little bit tricky as I'm missing a few of the core pieces of like, I know Minato did the GT Bosses team, but unfortunately I was missing Rildo. I don't have Super Baby 2, so I just had to kind of improvise a little bit and get some more attack lowering in different spots. So nonetheless, it does work out. It takes a little bit, but getting, like I said, once Broly gets that domain going and he's in God mode, if you will, just really not much that Goku can do. So that was kind of the whole idea. It takes about 5 to 6 turns, get to where you need to be, and then by that time you're probably good to go. So this Golden Frieza at his 90% damage reduction off the spawn, with the HP threshold, we should be good to go. He'll get his guaranteed double super in, and those are both going to attack lower. He's doing his intro, he's saying what's up, the whole 9 yards, right? So if he would stop yapping. Now, this is where things get interesting, because what we have to try and do is prioritize getting the 18 key for Cell if it's possible. But in this case, I don't believe it is. So what do we do here? We float Broly off. Yeah, so we don't get the 18 key with Cell, unfortunately, but I do know that 18 key does lower attacks. That would have been nice, but it is what it is. So ideally, we would want this Goku to Super Frieza, but unfortunately, he does not. So it's like, you know, of course, things have to be tricky because that's just the way these things go. But nonetheless, we do get what we need. So it's 1 attack lowering, excuse me, on the 12 key. So what I should have done is prioritized the 12 key rather than going for the 18 key, because that would have made sure that we got that second attack lowering in so we can really kind of get that damage down. So it still works. Like whatever we did, it worked, because you just have to get to full power Broly. Once you get to full power Broly, everything changes. Like it just gets so much easier. So that's all it really is there is to it. This Broly is kind of just like whatever. He maintains he fulfills the role of being a physical unit for the mission. So that's his idea. If you need an alternative for that guy, you can use LR Metal Cooler, because he does have a revival. So it's like maybe turn 1, you have a really bad start, you don't want to waste a Whis, you just toss that Metal Cooler into slot 1, let him get lit up, and you'll be good to go. So checking defense here, have to pop that Whis, because we just have to stay safe in this. And then we go for, we make sure we get the 24 key with Broly right there. We're guaranteed the 18 key with Cooler no matter what we did right there. And then with this Frieza, it's just a matter of damage reduction. He is well over the threshold that he needs to be at. And so we will see what is this going to do to Cooler, or to Broly this turn. So 142, so his damage has already been cut in half from the attack lowering that we've been doing. Because like on the last turn, he took 340k or whatever. So obviously looking way better now, getting that free damage in with Broly. This doesn't really matter, it's all about just getting to that 5th turn from appearance. So when we see him on turn 6, or his 5th turn from appearance, that's when we're good to go. So just gotta spam the attack lowering, and eventually we will get there. Broly's doing his thing, so this is gonna take a bit, but once Cooler kind of gets going, like you can really notice that big difference for how this event plays out once Cooler gets going, and those attack lowering start cooking in, you get 4 or 5 in one turn, you just really can get it going. But while this is playing out and we're waiting to get to Broly mode, so Broly just goes Big Daddy, this Goku, here is his stats. So he has, it's one phase, so he's got 150 million HP, he's got 600,000 attack, 400,000 defense, a 64% damage reduction, he's doing 8 attacks per turn with the potential to double super and a 5 cooldown, with an 18% chance to super, and it does 1.68 million. You can only lower his attack, and then he raises his attack by 50%. So if say he doesn't, if he doesn't have his attack lowered after he supers, his attack's going to be up to 900,000 if I'm reading into that correctly. So he disables his ability to have his defense lowered, but he does grant immunity to being stunned. He nullifies your ability to seal him, and he also disables dodge. So it's like any of you thinking that you can just come in here and use your friendly neighborhood Caulifla, that is not going to work. So just want to let you know that now, but we are doing Omega's active skill to ensure that we get another attack lowering in for the enemy, and we also get an action break. So the very rare Omega active skill. I'm sure you don't see this very often. Same thing with the Omega Revival. We could potentially get the Omega Revival in this run, but unfortunately I don't believe we do. So an attack lowering and an action break, obviously very good. And then a Revival can proc if someone does go down, but we have just more attack lowering going on, right? Especially considering we get more going with Cell there in the 3rd spot. We get that 18 key. We are now in the danger zone, if you will. We will be not having a Whis active on the next turn, so things could get a little bit scary. But Broly's got us. He's our mask, if you will, or he's not even the mask, he's just a shield. So as long as he takes all the damage, we should be good to go. Cooler will get some attack lowering in, so not worried about that whatsoever. Omega's getting his in real quick, and then Cell will get in another, so 3 separate instances of attack lowering on this specific phase. So not a bad start, or not a bad 4 turns for all the Whis that we had. So the damage reduction items carried us through this. I think innately when you talk about like hardest fights in the game, if you can lower the enemy's attack, I think by default it probably goes to the not hardest attack or hardest fight in the game. So just keep that in mind. Like in reality, what you could do is like pop an Usher with a bunch of attack lowerers and stuff like that, and you'll be good to go. But now things get fun. I think what we do is this. If this is the so this is the Broly God mode turn. So we have a lot going on here, right? We have Cooler's active skill going. Now, the misplay that I made there is I should have put him in slot 2 for legendary power, but nonetheless, we do get the action break, which is still very important. So we have this, and then Broly is going into his mode. So I believe this is probably just the win turn straight up, because whatever damage this is going to do is going to be good, and then we have whatever damage Broly's going to do. Honestly, I don't even know. We still have a ways to go. Like, he still probably has a good 60 million HP left, but now Broly's going to transform. And this is when things get fun, right? This is the fun mode. Broly's really going to show his value here. Whenever your boy decides to transform, here we go. It's time. Broly just realized that Frieza played him. He didn't realize that, but the dimension shattering, here we go. Full power, my boy. Boom! All right, I love it, I love it, I love it. So, now, we have to activate the domain, and now Broly's ready to cook. He is ready to go. So, the attack's going to get pretty crazy, and then if he doesn't finish the job, I believe physical Broly will. 600k defense should be more than enough at the stage that we're at, and should be able to cook here. So I believe, I don't remember if Broly gets the W or not, but I believe he's obviously going to do a decent chunk at 25 million right there. So being in the domain, obviously that's going to help. So boom, bam, bop. What do you got for me, Broly? Boom! Yeah, 18 million. And then whatever additional supers he's doing, 17 million. And then obviously he's not just done there. Two is never enough when it comes to Broly. So What do you got for me, bud? Such a good animation. 13 million. Just look at this damage he's doing. It's ridiculous, man. It's like, how is a boss supposed to deal with this? It's like, all right, there you go. Oh, by the way, we're not done. Here's a fourth one. All of these have crit for over 10 million, by the way. So it's like, it's ridiculous, man. This Broly is crazy. So 14 million, and then a normal that's going to crit for 9 million. So there you go. Now Broly obviously is going to come in at doing 10 million at type advantage. So we're not even done there. So hey, what do you got for me, Broly? Is this the kill shot? It is. So there you go. Kaioken Goku with all extreme types. If a TLDR on this, just stall and attack lower until you can get to Broly's God mode, aka the domain, and you're good to go. So let me know down below what you guys think of this run, what you think of the team, what you think of the event. Subscribe if you are new, and leave a like if you did enjoy today's video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.